Good evening. Good evening and welcome. My name is Fernando Betancourt. I am the Executive Director for the San Juan Center, Inc., and I'm a proud member of Hartford Votes and Hartford Vota Coalition. I welcome you to this non-partisan meet and greet event for mayoral candidates who will be on the general election ballot next Tuesday. All of the candidates were invited to join us tonight. The purpose of tonight's event is to offer an opportunity to informally meet and hear from the candidates and to, as is appropriate in this place, break bread together. We encourage you to move around the room and talk with as many candidates as you wish and with others too. A little later, we will offer each candidate 3 minutes only, with a microphone to share a few thoughts on the issues that will be faced by Hartford next mayor. We would like to thank South Church for hosting us tonight. Please give them a round of applause. And providing dinner, which is on your left, which will be available very shortly. I'd like to introduce Associate Pastor Alex Thomas to say a few words on behalf of South Church. Pastor.
Good evening, everyone. How are you feeling? Very good. That's good. Good to see Hartford coming out for an event such as this, and we have quite a few candidates, and obviously we have a register of voters out here. Hartford Public Access is also live streaming this event, but we just as South Church want to thank you guys for joining us today, and I also have with me senior pastor, so my boss, right here with us. And, just wanted him to say a few words to welcome you guys.
I just wanted to welcome everyone to South Congregational Church. It's safe for me to be here because I live in Wethersfield, so I can't vote for any of you. But I do have a feeling that the next mayor of Hartford is in this room. And I hope you have a great time tonight, and thank you for using our space. This is what a congregational meeting house did for centuries. Church on Sunday, public service the rest of the week. So thank you so much for coming. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you again for your hospitality. We would also like to thank our friends from Hartford Public Access TV for live streaming and recording tonight's event. Thank you to Gil Martinez, our friend. Gil, thank you for everything, and your team. Now, a Spanish translation is available at any time tonight for those who may need it. Please see Lourdes in the back of the room. If you understood what I was saying, you don't need this, then you will probably do not need what I'm going to say now. Cualquier traducción para cualquiera de los candidatos está disponible. Tenemos a Lourdes aquí para hacerlo, y yo también puedo traducirle si hay alguien que necesita la traducción en español. Thank you again for joining us. Dinner is now served, am I understand? So please go so we can start the program right away, okay? Thank you. And I'll be back with more.
You're a little taller than me. Welcome, everyone. My name's Giselle Feliciano, but everyone calls me Gigi. Like Giselle Jacob, but we're twins, just different mamas. Same name. Anyway, tonight, First Vote Coalition, Registrar of Voters is a partner with the Voter Coalition, and we work very hard in trying to get out as much educational pieces within election and what we actually do. So tonight they asked me to go over the ballot with you guys and a couple of things, and excuse my voice, it's going in and out, but for those, I have a sample ballot here. There's also one at the table where the food and the newspapers are. So let's go over the ballot. Right now, currently, we have 12 candidates running for mayor. Okay? That'll be the first row that you will see. Anyone chooses the first or any one person within that column of their choice. The next over will be council. In there, you have the Democrats, Republican, Working Families, the Hartford Party and Green Party. Along with that, you can choose up to 6 individual candidates. You decide on how you want to vote. Although I'm the Democratic registrar, I am going to tell you this as a partial person. If you choose you want 2 from the top, 1 from the bottom, that is your decision, okay? Once that is done, you flip over the ballot. This ballot is a 2-sided ballot due to the fact of the amount of candidates that are running for mayor. That is the reason why the ballot is so big. On the next side, you will have the treasurer. You have 2 candidates running for treasurer. You choose one of those. The next one will be the constables. You have 4 people running for constables. Constable has no one running against them. So technically, like I explained in the training, they go in, they vote for themselves, they're automatically in. Right? Now I'm going to flip it back to the write-in. Everyone knows we have 4 candidates for the write-in. Their names are Eric Coleman. Let me make sure I say it correctly. Odell DeLeon, Michael Downs, and Tracy Loretta Funny. Now, there's a difference between the ballot within write-in candidates. These candidates are only running for mayor. So if you choose a write-in candidate, you must fill in the bubble where it says write-in candidates, which is at the bottom. That is only going to be considered in the column of the mayor because it's only candidates for the mayor that are running. Once you put in, you circle in the bubble, like a lottery ticket, everyone. You then place the name. So whatever name you choose, you place that name. Now the trick of it that everyone must understand, write-in candidates are not publicized within the polling location. So anybody who wants to know who are the write-in candidates, they must request to see the list. The list is always held with the moderator of the polling location. You tell the ballot person, I want to see the actual list. They will bring you the list. You view it for a few minutes, and they have to take it back. It is not publicized. So you will not find it anywhere within the written ballot. All right? We have 24 polling locations. But during the month of November, of every November election, general election, we also have what's called EDR, Election Day Registration. For those who did not know, October 31st was the last day to bring in any registration cards. From here until Monday noon, anyone can come into our office and register in person, but they must be the person with that registration card name. On Tuesday, in City Hall in the atrium, we hold EDR, Election Day Registration, and not everybody can go in, and this is why I'm going to explain it to you. Election Day registration is only for new voters, anyone who's moving in to the city of Hartford and did not get a chance to register, or they're coming in from a different town. That's the only way you can go in and vote on the day of election at City Hall. If by chance you go there and we see that you are in the Connecticut voter registration system and you are registered in a different polling location, we will send you over to that polling location. Now, when marking the ballot, it's like filling out the bubble in a lottery ticket. Many people put X's, many people put check marks, or just a dot. The ballot will not go through. So if a tabulator tender tells you you have to go back and redo your ballot, follow the directions. So if you have constituents out there, please let them know that. You can request to redo your ballot many times. Okay? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. No, that has been shut off as of midnight, like on the 31st. You can no longer do it. You have to be in person now. And if you don't have a chance, you come down to City Hall if you have not ever registered within the town of Hartford. Any other questions for me? Go ahead. No? So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gigi, for that precise presentation. Now you're going to hear from the candidates, but before I do that, let me tell you, on behalf of the Hartford Vota Coalition, our gratitude to every candidate for you to serve in that fashion, and we know the sacrifices to your family. There's almost no more noble endeavor but for public service. So thank you, all of you, for what you do. I will introduce each candidate in alphabetical order by last name. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to speak. Abby, which is here in front, will be our timekeeper. We ask the candidates to please focus your comments on the issues facing Hartford and to please refrain from making comments about other candidates. Due to time constraints, we will not take questions from the audience, but please talk directly with the candidates when they return to their tables. Now, I'm going to ask Abby, you're going to give this person I'm going to introduce now 30 seconds and time's up. Those are the two markers. First one is Arunan Arulampalam.
Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you to Center Church for hosting us tonight in this beautiful historic building. And to Alex and Pastor, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you guys. Thank you to Fernando and the organizers. I appreciate this opportunity. Many of you have seen us at a number of forums, have heard all of our some speeches, our talking points. You know enough about me and my background, I think, at this point. You know that I really care about rebuilding and investing in our communities and commercial corridors and rebuilding small businesses and investing in housing and housing that leads to home ownership to create generational wealth in our communities, dealing with quality of life issues that impact all of us as Hartford residents, having safe spaces for our kids to go to after school. So instead of repeating that, I'll say this. We are 5 days away from an election, and on November 7th, the city's going to pick a mayor, and all of us are here because in some form or fashion, we care about the city and the future of this city and what happens in this city. And I'll talk about one issue that I probably haven't talked about at forums like this, which is the silos and the divisiveness that I think drag our city back. We have so many incredible people in the city with so many great ideas, and I think we've seen that from so many of the folks on this campaign trail. And we disagree from time to time, we have different ideas from time to time, but all of us care about the future of this city. But as a city, as Hartford, we will only be as strong as we are united. We will only be strong if we can see the strength and the beauty and the power in each other and reach out across lines and build one unified voice, one unified coalition as a city. And so my hope is that however this campaign goes, at the end of the day, that we can come together as a city, because it is for too long we have been pitting disempowered communities against disempowered communities, and that is no way to build a strong and bright future in our city. All of us have such an important piece, in what this city looks like. All of us have such an important piece in the future of this city. And my hope and my prayer for this city is that we can work together, that we can see the humanity in each other, that we can see what is possible if we use our strengths together, and that we can build a unified city together. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate the time.
Arun, and I'll be asking the same question to everybody. If you are elected, do you commit to returning to our future events to talk with us about your progress as mayor? Okay, this is being taped. You heard it here. Next candidate is Giselle Jacobs. Giselle?
Good evening, everyone. What an honor. I would also like to thank everyone for having us out this evening. And I wore my hat today from the service thinking it would help me to not be as nervous. I'm nervous. However, I am grateful to be here this evening. And I will say a little bit about who I am, because although I've been born and raised in the city of Hartford, grew up in Bellevue Square, attended all Hartford public schools, and, you know, have served as, not only served our country, I serve in our community. You know, in 2008, I started a nonprofit in my living room. A couple of years later, we incorporated for children in the community who have a parent incarcerated. Those parents began to return home, unable to find employment due to their backgrounds. And by the grace of God, I heard from God when he said, if they can't find a job, you create a job. So we have since started a construction, commercial, residential cleaning company, and by the grace of God, we've been able to hire individuals from our community for over the past 10 years. God is good. So why am I here today? Why am I don't like to call it running for mayor. I'm on assignment from God. When the community members reached out and asked that I enter the race for mayor, I was hesitant because, listen, I have 4 children, would have been 5. I lost a son, Emmanuel, back in '03. 7 grandchildren. You know, I'm divorced. I have, listen, I just gotten my license, become a licensed real estate agent, and as with the desire of assisting more individuals from our community become homeowners. You know, it's a path to generational wealth, and so what I'm trying to say is my plate was full. However, we saw a need. We saw a need for change. Some of us call the definition of insanity as doing the same things expecting different results. And there are citizens in our community who are desperate for change. And they reached out to Giselle Gigi Jacobs for that change. Look at God. So listen, on November the 7th, listen, I am the first. God says, listen, the last will be first and the first will be last. Hey, I am the first petitioning candidate, 1F on the ballot. And, listen, when you come out, bring everybody in the house that's eligible to vote. 18 and up. Let them all know we have to vote. Folks bled and died for us to have the right to vote, so let's come out and vote. That's our power. That's our voice. Section 2 of the state of Connecticut Constitution tells us that all political power is inherent in the people, and all free government is founded on their authority, instituted for their benefit, and that they shall have at all times an undeniable, indefeasible right to alter their form of government in such manner as they think expedient. So let's come on out and exert our power. Come on out and vote, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. And the same question, if you're elected, do you commit to returning to our future events to talk with us about your progress as mayor? Okay. Next is Nick LeBron. Vamos, Nick, sube.
Gracias, Fernando. Buenos días, mi pueblo. Yo me llamo concejal Nick Lebrón. Estoy cogiendo para ser alcalde para el futuro de Hartford. So my name is Nick LeBron, and I'm Councilman Nick LeBron, and I'm running to be the next mayor of Hartford. So I have a Hartford success plan, and I'm a Hartford success story. You can learn more about the detailed policies at lebronforhartford.com. I'm on row 1G. What I want to tell you and what I want to express, and we could talk more about it when you come to my table, is that my background is twofold that I want you to really feel. And the first one is that I have the professional experience. I've worked my way up through politics. I started as a grassroots community organizer working with Hart that is no longer existing, became an advocate, and then became a lobbyist. And through that work, I was able to receive millions of dollars in funding on behalf of the children and families in the state of Connecticut. But why I decided to run for council was because I was constantly challenged by barriers in terms of getting things that the community needed. And so that's why I decided to run for council. And so as a council person, I was the chair of Health and Human Services during the worst pandemic that Hartford's ever seen. And I'm proud of the work that I did there. We saved and served a lot of people and saved a lot of lives. But I also have the personal experience. I've been born and raised here in Hartford, born in Bellevue Square like Miss Gigi, but we moved when I was 5 years old, and I lived all over the city. And so what that provides me is a unique lens to understand that how poverty and how obstacles really face us and challenge us in the city of Hartford. Some of us here in the city of Hartford are a flat tire away from losing our job, right? And so we're not looking for handouts. What we're looking for is hand-ups. So the three principles that we'll focus on is violence. Right outside this community, there continues to be persistent violence on Frog Hollow and Park Street. We also need access to resources and access to services. People that are politically connected shouldn't be the only ones that have access to resources. And then being a unified city. I agree, we need a unified city. And myself, being a North End Puerto Rican, yes, we exist. We're able to cross those lines. And I'm able to have a conversation in Spanish and be able to go to North End. So thank you so much for this time and this opportunity to South Church.
So Nick, you know the drill. Si sales electo, ¿te comprometes a venir a cualquier actividad en el futuro que nosotros organicemos?
Si tiene pizza y salada, voy a venir. So if you have pizza and salad, I'm more than willing to come back.
I take that as a yes. The next candidate is Stan McCauley.
Caught me by surprise. All right, well, let's see. I know everyone in this room, so I'll speak to the people that are at home. 860-944-9797. That's my personal cell phone number, has been for years. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Since you're not here, I'll come to you. That's 860-944-9797. Shout out to Hartford Public Access Television for being here and covering this tonight. I have a 5-point plan / 6-point plan to realign Hartford's priorities. This election really isn't about the 14 people running for mayor. This election is about the 120,000 constituents who we are all applying to work for. You all are going to speak loudly to quote unquote the powers that be. The people who actually make the decisions and run the city, who whisper in the ears of the electeds to tell them what they will and will not do. You will give them license to do whatever they want, or you will take back your government. This is not a plantation unless you allow it to be one. You are at the top of the political food chain because you are the constituents. It is your government. It's not the Working Family Party's government. It's not the Democratic Party's government. It's not the Republicans' government. It's your government. But that only works when you exercise your authority as constituents. So we're applying to work for you. I'm applying to work for you. Hartford's solutions to Hartford's problems are Hartford's people. If you want your solutions to be enacted, then vote for a candidate that is going to put you first. This is not rhetoric for me. I've been saying this for 16 years. My plan is the same today as it was when I first introduced it. It's not something I thought up in a whim because I was running for office. It's because I listened to what you all have to say. And if you really want change, you have to have enough faith and courage in yourself to vote your conscience for once in your life. God bless you all and keep you strong in the faith, and I will absolutely be back here. We'll have our first conversation on Tuesday morning, or make that Wednesday morning, right? Wednesday, all right.
We will give all the candidates an opportunity to rest on that after that Tuesday. Stan, if you're elected, do you commit to returning to our official events to talk with us about your progress as mayor, with or without the pizza?
I'll come without the pizza, and I'll call you Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning, okay. Our next candidate is Mike McGarry.
Yeah, I'm Mike McGarry, the Republican candidate for mayor, and I get a little more specific than the other candidates. I'm most concerned right now that Hartford has lost its sense of order. You can see it from the idiots that drive by you at twice the speed limit. You can see it from the people that run through the red lights, the people that shoot, the people that make a mess, the store owners who don't keep the fronts of their stores nice, the homeowners who let weeds grow. We have to change that. The mayor, whoever he or she is, should be the bully pulpit, should be out there every day looking to see what's wrong and fixing it. The wall building across from Aero Drug for 3 years has weeds and rotten plywood right on Farmington Avenue across from Aero Drug. That shouldn't be. It's up to the mayor to say to whoever is a particular L&I or Public Works, we can't take that, fix it. The mayor should say to the owners of these properties, look, are you going to be my friend or are you going to not be my friend? And make sure they understand what not be my friend means. That's got to be the #1 job of the mayor, to bring back our sense of order. Now, we have another problem, our grand list. Now, you know what the grand list is. That's a list of taxable property. We collect about $300 million in taxes as a city. We're in danger now of losing 10% of that with the closing of offices. We can see, if you look ahead a little bit, the loss of $30 million by closed offices. That's 6 mills. How do we replace that? That's the job of the mayor, too. It's a very difficult job. Now, what I've been thinking about, all the different factors. Yes, we need more houses. Yes, we need more small businesses. But quite frankly, they don't add up. What we need to do is create Hartford, as we once were, not too long ago, as a visitor city. Now, what has West Hartford done? It has created all those restaurants, and now West Hartford's booming. Offices go to West Hartford, new apartments popping up all over the place without any subsidies. We have to struggle to do those things. Now, I think we have to have a visitor-friendly city. We don't have it now. Here's the proof. This little town that was just in Scotland, this little town of 1,300 people has a wonderful business map of the city. This town lost its mining, lost most of its forest, lost a lot of its agriculture. But it's a booming town because it's a visitor-friendly town, and there it is. Do you realize there's not one map available of the city of Hartford? There's a little real estate map you can get once in a while, but there isn't a promotional piece of the city of Hartford anywhere. So if I become mayor, we'll be a visitor-friendly city. Thank you. You gonna ask me this story? Oh, do I get the same question?
Absolutely. If you're here, if you're elected mayor, do you commit to returning to our official events to talk with us about your progress as mayor?
I think you'll be tired of me by that time. Yes, I will.
Next candidate is Mark Stewart.
Thank you. Eric will have to readjust. So hello, Hartford. Thanks for being out here. I'm going to get to the big issue last. I'd like to address something that I hope you're aware of, but let me accentuate this. This room has 5 very good candidates. Last month, I was in New Hampshire with exactly 5 presidential candidates. The 5 here hold their own, okay? Arun and Giselle, Eric, Mike, Stan, Nick, hold their own with presidential, and all in Hartford. And hopefully, they will all serve one another in one mayor's administration, because Hartford will it. The very talented Hartford also needs talented civilians, though. You are in that category by just being here. But I think you need to enlist 5 more people. Be viral about who you bring into activism. And please recognize that the best government is often one that doesn't do much from government. I'm on the liberty left. Liberty-minded people know that individuals and private organizations do better for this city than commands from on high. Look, what did commands from on high get us during COVID? Your inability to see grandma, your inability to work where you want, your inability to attend church. This church was closed down by imperious government officials. And that's not just Hartford, it was almost every urban area. But it's more than just COVID. Governments tend to restrict your freedoms, your inability to choose a public school. That's a government thing. You got to win a lottery to be in a very good school. The forcing of many to take hours of courses in order to just braid hair. They're cutting down on liberty. The big issue, I think it relates to this. It's activism. There's not enough of it. This hall should be standing room only. And if I am back in 2024, I think it will be. I'm no longer a candidate for mayor here, but I am a candidate for the legislature in one of these Hartford or neighboring districts. Look for me that way at stewartforhartford.com. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mark. And again, if you're elected mayor, do you commit to returning to our official events to talk with us about your progress as mayor?
I'd rather, yes, I'll come. Let people talk about my progress as mayor. Then it's authentic. If I do come instead of pizza, I'm Jewish. How about bagels and lox? Thank you.
Welcome. And this is a perfect segue. I'm sure that everybody agrees with what he said about the candidates that are already presented. However, they are not the only candidates. So now I'm going to proceed to give the opportunity to those who are write-in candidates. And the first candidate I'm going to call is Eric Coleman.
Good evening, everyone. As Fernando indicated, my name is Eric Coleman, and I want to, first of all, explain to you that I am a write-in candidate, and I've found that there is a stigma that has attached to write-in candidacies, which I want to dispel. The stigma is that write-in candidacies are very difficult, and what I've found in these last few weeks is that write-in candidacies are not difficult at all. What it requires is 3 steps. If you're inclined to vote for Eric Coleman, what you do when you get your ballot is go to row J, which will be at the bottom of that ballot. Find box 1J, fill in the bubble at box 1J, and then write my name in box 1J. You can either write Coleman, you can write Eric, or if your penmanship is steady enough, you can write Eric Coleman in that very tiny box. If you do those 3 things, you will have cast a valid write-in vote for Eric Coleman to be the next mayor of the city of Hartford. I intend to make history by being elected as the first write-in candidate to become mayor of the city of Hartford. I would ask everyone in this room and everyone outside of this room to join me in making history. I want to be mayor because obviously I care about this city. I have a familiarity with the history of this city. I have a shared experience with the majority of people that reside in this city. I have a public service career and background. I also have public policy proposals that address the needs and the concerns of the city of Hartford. Among those public policy proposals, they are written. You can find them, you can access them on my website, which is www.colemanforhartford.com. 3 very important issues, and there are many, but 3 happen to be public safety, the improvement of our schools, and economic development. As I traveled across the city, people tell me that they want all of those issues addressed. I have very detailed proposals for public safety that include community policing and foot patrols. I have details about school policy or school improvement policies that would improve our schools, and that would include early education and economic development. I would transfer all of the effort from downtown, not all of the effort, but I would transfer a good deal of the effort to the neighborhoods. I think development of the neighborhoods is critical. Thank you for the time. I appreciate you all being here. God bless you.
Eric, the same question. If you're elected mayor, do you commit to returning to our future events to talk with us about your progress as mayor?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you. Next is Odile DeLone. Is that person in the house? No? Okay. Next is Michael Downs. I hope that I'm pronouncing those names correctly. So I think that is. Next is Tracy Funny. Funny? No? Okay. So I would like to conclude by thank you all the candidates for your presentations tonight. Thanks again for joining us, and thanks again to South Church for your hospitality and for welcoming us tonight. Please continue to talk. This is when the real interaction starts, and get to know each other, and make sure to vote next Tuesday, November 7th. And there's more food. Have a good night. Thank you.